Nothing short of extraordinary. The perfect 21-point stage and looking to continue that momentum here in the playoffs. But Villa is Talon's map pick. Let's see whether they can start it with a bang.
Talon, not surprisingly, going back to Villa, they had a pretty strong performance on it yesterday, so doing well so far on this map, so we'll see if they can replicate that success against the Direwolves. Thatcher being taken out first by the Direwolves to, I don't imagine anyone's surprised, pretty regular ban coming out here on Villa. The next ban to come out for Talon will be the Ying, which is a very interesting ban actually.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have we seen Direwolves bring that Ying to throw a spanner in the works? We saw how good Cyclops played with it, and it was one of the deciding factors that led to them beating Dumb1 just now in qualifying for that major. So I like that ban from Talon, looking to suppress any cheeky business from the Direwolves.
Another ban to come out is the Mirror. Mirror quite prevalent on Villa when it is up. There are a few sort of niche strategies you can bring, especially on some of the top floor sides. And then another interesting ban out to come with the Smoke. Smoke and Ying going through the bantos. Quite interesting. That's one more of your shotgun plays out. Typically you'll see a Smoke play your power positions like main stairs or something like that with the shields, and having one shotgun down and having that plant denial will change the way that the defense is shaped up here on Villa.
Yeah, that is a very unusual operator ban, and that is going to throw a curveball to Talon. However, they have 6 rounds to worry about that. They start on the attack. Direwolves on the defense with no smoke available. Likely we're going to see another operator have to step up to create those rotation holes. The vertical holes are really important on Villa as well. And so perhaps we'll see smoke run shoddy. Perhaps it'll be the Aruni punch and some impact grenades. And it's smoke shoddy. So there you go. Jackie Wu going to be on renovations duty. And Direwolves going to see what they can achieve here on Talon's map pick. Keeping in mind, Direwolves actually don't have a very good history on this map. They've played it a couple times and won it, but only in their national circuit. And if you're talking big games against APAC South teams, IG a loss 7-2 in the 6 Invitational qualifiers. Cyclops a loss 4-7 in SI quals. So Talon definitely will be at home here, unlike Direwolves.
Direwolves now electing to start on a tertiary bomb site here on Dining and Kitchen. Perhaps trying to throw a spanner in the works here for Talon, do something unexpected. But Talon now switching out the Hibana as well for the Flores. Maybe they're keyed into, they don't necessarily need so much hard breach to attack the site. We need to put more pressure upstairs or something like that. So Direwolves already starting off to a very interesting start and spreading their way out across the map. Quite an extended roam here on the top floor and even laterally over into the little living room corridor as well.
While we have a lot of teams here in APAC that have really distinct play styles, we talk about Cyclops and the way that they bring these creative ideas, Direwolves don't have that as much. The thing that makes Direwolves Direwolves, and has been their biggest strength in Stage 1, is their attitude, their fun-loving nature. That is what fuels them through thick or thin to win these matches round by round.
The Direwolves, they're definitely a character for us. We've loved having them on the player cams here in APAC South. They always show us some dances, some good entertainment as well. So we'll see if they can bring up that good mental game into this match. Talon now starting to make a sweep across the map, entering in from Pottery and from Study as well. So seems like they'll go for like a double clear across the map, across both floors, looking for as much control as they can get.
Very ambitious from Talon, and it will make sure they leave no stone unturned. However, the concern is time. It takes a lot of time for Talon to take the whole top floor from south side across, the whole ground floor from south side across. And of course, Direwolves all the way downstairs on the north side. Talon have to clear that whole top floor if they want to go for vert. They have to start pressuring the site as time ticks away.
Talon now getting control into living room and into this corridor. Harambe there to contest. So they have their work cut out for them with Kanos sitting on top of the red stairs. These two little choke points are stalling out Talon a little bit, but that won't work for long if Demi finds 2 picks like that. That's amazing.
Phenomenal work from one of the OGs of Korean Siege, Demic himself. Bit of a veteran, but only a recent addition to Talon, joining 8 months ago and already showing the experience that he can bring to this roster, as well as the pure fragging capability. Now Direwolves sit on the back foot on site with all of these lines of sight opened, desperately hoping to even this man count with the fight.
Souffle now looking for a flank through the basement, and he will be successful. That is the soft breach off the board, so no vertical capability anymore for Talon. I was actually just about to say that Talon will get stalled out here in these positions because that's typically where they get stalled out in Villa, and I was immediately proven wrong by Demic. So, oh my gosh, Talon, they've made so much progress, but only 30 seconds left to go. There are still 2 players left on the site, and no walls are open because there's no hard breach. Souffle also in a very precarious position
He's
here.
going for it. Look at him. Just look at Souffle, the absolute ambition of the man. While the rest of Talon is looking to execute sight, this lone Kaid player is flanking. Did a bit of damage, and now his position has been made aware, and, well, unfortunately that flank did not quite have the teeth it needed to. Talon flooded the site, and there was nothing that Souffle could do.
Talon winning out that entire round all the way from the early game, finding the 2 picks. Direwolves just never really had an in back on that round. They couldn't trade out the entries, and eventually losing out to the flood on the site. Souffle, he had the opportunity for the flank, but couldn't quite find the timing, so well played from Talon to make their time to sweep across the map, get the control that they needed, the entry picks, and just all played out in their favor. So far, so good for Talon.
Pretty exciting, isn't it? To see Talon, their momentum that they have built in stage 1. Funny to think that this team, which was always 5th or 6th place last year in APAC North, was actually sitting at the very top of the APAC North standings for a good part of the stage 1 season, and only eventually to drop down into 2nd place thanks to Dumb1's performance on the final play day. Talon still made it through to the playoffs, but the fact that once they're here, they're not letting that pressure get to them. We've talked a lot about, with Hybrid, about the pressure and how that affects Cyclops. Talon not really seeming to feel that as much, which is exciting to see that despite how fast this uprising has been for them, that they're not getting stalled out when things really start to heat up.
It's definitely tough to keep playing the Siege at your highest performance when there's such a high-stakes game here. This is the game for the major for Talon, right? So there's a lot of pressure on them to perform, to try and get in as many of these maps as they can. But again, it's a best of 3. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So only the first round. They can't expend all their energy so quickly here. So Talon needs to retain their composure here while attacking Villa. Now we move on to Aviator and Games, a more familiar bomb site for us. And they start doing a direct attack. Actually, they're not going to sweep the map. They've changed their approach from the last round. Now we can see Soldier and Heady starting to come in from the main door, but contested by Pecan and ED down below.
Bit of utility down here as well. Some rotation holes, a Banshee. You can see Direwolves don't want to allow Talon to get control downstairs and use that vertically to start pressuring the site. As is though, what's he looking for? Deciding what to use his Rotero to destroy. He's just going to go for the barbed wire, fairly unambitious, but critical piece of utility to clear out.
So here we don't really see the top floor, the top main stairs shield, which is, I assume, what Aziz was looking for there with his Flores drone. So this will give top main control for free to Talon. They've just sent in 2 drones there, so I assume the entries will start to come in. But Souffle, he will be contesting that study area, so they'll have to be careful once they get into that top floor.
In fact, only 1 shield on Direwolves, and it has been placed here in Aviator. The second Rotero goes out. Canos has taken a little bit of damage elsewhere on the balcony. Azzy there as well to support. Talon is really starting to heat up. Look at all these players in study at top main stairs, just starting to approach the bomb site. Direwolves, though, are very much peeled back. They're trying to maintain map control. They've got to make sure that the site doesn't slip out from under them.
On board, we are here with Demic here on a lurk on the other side of the map. Jackie Wu to contest, but actually Canos finds the entry pick of the match, and so does Demic to follow up again in a 5 versus 3 deficit for Direwolves. So Pecan looking for the flank now, see what he can find.
See if Pika can do a little bit of a Pika onto some of these players upstairs. Demic, though, fallen back. He's just watching his flank. You know he doesn't need to over-aggress. That's nice. As is this from ED, just trying to get that C4 back. And Pika does eventually find Demic, who pushes up. That gives the Malusi now an opportunity to support. And ED's found Soldier off-site. Pika times it perfectly, but not quite well enough. Harambe looking to dance around this bomb site like we know he dances so well. He finds the double! And of course the Frost Mat to clean it up. That is beautiful.
That is a Harambe dance moment, if you ask me. Can we get some Harambe dances now? That was really beautiful. I love seeing Frost come out here. Direwolves able to bring that back. 2 entry picks for Talon, initially uncontested, but Direwolves, they hold their ground, they hold their power positions here in Aviator Games, eventually able to retake the round. An excellent flank from Pecan opened up Aviator control again for them, and just, yeah, well done from the Direwolves not to lose composure and eventually bring back their deficit.
So this is going to be a back and forth game.
Yeah.
Direwolves are not going to roll over and let this happen, which is good because Direwolves, we didn't have a lot of faith in them knowing Villa, knowing their history on Villa, but of course we also are very aware, as I know that you're interested in touching on, these teams actually scrim each other a lot as well. It's not just about, like, we just have the results and the stats from their actual official matches. But I'm not telling you that Direwolves hasn't played this map in scrims every night for the past week. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, so something that we don't get to touch on a lot, just in the APAC South and APAC North regions only, is that when these teams look for scrim partners, you don't want to be scrimming the people that you haven't played with yet in the group stage because you might be giving away your game plan, right? So they'll look for their scrim partners in the sister league in APAC North or in APAC South. So these teams, they're probably scrim partners. They've probably seen each other in practice that we don't get to see here on this stage. So chances are maybe they do know their map pool. Maybe Direwolves have seen Talon's Villa and they've gone, oh, okay, it's not too bad. We'll let it slip through the ban phase or something like that. Yesterday, I think it was Hedy from Talon actually commented that they scrimmed the Chiefs on their bank and they went, oh, it doesn't look too bad. We'll let it go through the ban phase and we'll play it and we'll beat them on it.
Which is funny because that bank was not a map that Talon ever played. And
absolutely.
So we're almost seeing the reverse of that here. Potentially, you know, Direwolves don't play Villa, but maybe they're happy to play it if they've scrimmed Talon on it before.
It's all speculation here, but it's important to consider that this is a kind of dynamic that we don't normally see in the separate leagues. So it's interesting to see how it plays out here in this joint playoffs. ED and Demic now down in Dining and Kitchen, looking for a small little engagement there as Talon look for a more direct attack onto Trophy and Statuary. Canos now trying to leave the charge, opening up the window, trying to perhaps look for a grenade, and Aziz droning him in.
You'll see Direwolves once again spreading out their defense quite significantly. It's ED down below, C4 in pocket. Just trying to maintain this map control so that later on he has the ability to go for that C4 through the floor to take down one of these players. Talon preoccupied with trying to figure out how to get master control, how to breach this wall. There's an Electroclaw electrifying that main wall. Hedy does manage to get inside and takes down Pika. Where was that? Was that a long angle all the way in Astro? Wow. My God, what a shot there from Hedy.
The power of the 1.5x sight comes in Hedy's favor there. And ED actually...
Oh, they've got info.
Oh, they do have info on him. But ED trying to make vertical holes to prevent the jump in. Soldier now going down below into Laundry, looking to contest this C4 play from ED. Can he find it?
C4 pre-placed. Demic, no, doesn't walk on it just. However, Demic does find a kill onto Harambe. Talon have exploded onto the site. Hedy for the triple. And Demic to make it a full house. Very, very nice there from Talon. Never in question. That was their round.
Talon, they're just so good at these opening kills. Every single round, I think, that we've watched so far, correct me if I'm wrong, stats man, but we've seen Talon always finds the opening pick here on Villa. And it hasn't always played out into the favor, now 2-1, but it certainly has opened up the round for them there. It opened up Astro. It gave them a little bit of time to make verticals to start contesting ED. They are able to have an extra player go below to try and deal with it, for example, right? So Talon really winning out here in the early game. Direwolves, they're going to have to be more careful not to throw away their lives.
So one kill makes all kind of difference, and yeah, I'm pretty sure you're correct. I wasn't actively tracking every kill, but I'm pretty sure that in the first round, the first kill was from Demic. In the second round, it was Demic who pushed at the top red and got that first pick. So yeah, there you go. That makes 3 if you include that round just past. So Talon are absolutely controlling these early rounds, which is also the story of what we saw in, was it the opening day? Cyclops played against, I'm having a mental blank, Elevate. And that's exactly what Cyclops were good. I think it was at 15 rounds. It was like a 12-3 split or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Insane. And so it's funny that we're seeing these North teams, I mean, I'm generalizing, but these North teams overall seem to be really dominating the openings of these rounds much more over the South.
Direwolves going to have to dial it back. a little bit if they want to save their lives here to Demic's amazing entry play that he's done for the past 3 rounds. So now rotating back to Dining Kitchen, they're going to attempt it again, spreading out similar defense, making rotates over to Living Room while they rotate laterally, vertically into the top floor, starting to contest that study entry.
Something that ED has talked about extensively, and I know he tweeted about this as well. Direwolves used to be a team that relied on Soufflé and Pika to go big, and that was how they would win games. The rest of the team was there to try and help out and support, but they weren't quite on their level in terms of the fragging. And things have changed so much. Every member of this roster can step up as needed, but it is Pika on the front line. ED there to support, holding a nice crossfire onto Study and looking to put pressure on Talon as they try and enter the map. And I really like this. Just shoot drones and fall back. Guess how many drones Talon have left? 5. That's half their drones, and there's 2 minutes of this round left.
Talon's struggling a little bit to find the entry pick this time onto Direwolves. Pikan's still holding onto that top main stairs, and no boots in the building just yet, but Soldier and Canos look like they're about to change that.
However, Talon will be entering with no drones, and as such, they are oh so vulnerable. Demic goes down the first time Direwolves have found the opener. That said, as he is there for that trade, Canos is in the building as well. Here's a flank watch drone, but there's only 4 drones left for Talon. And now that makes it 3, doesn't it? Direwolves are absolutely controlling this. Like with the mute, the Mozzie, the drone denial, it's so hard for Talon to get in.
I was going to comment, 3 drones left on the board for Talon, so a very severe lack of intel here, and only 1 minute and 15 seconds left to go. That's not enough drones to drone into the site. I think that we're going to have to see Talon. They need to start dry peeking things. They'll look for their picks. This is not looking in the favor, but as I say that, Canos, he starts to open up the round for Talon, finding a pick.
Canos is such a strong fragger. And on this lurking role, he doesn't need drones. He plays slowly, he plays off sound, and he gets 3 kills on the round before being traded back. Jackie Wu and Pika now, as the logic bomb detonates and those phone calls ring out. It's the 2 info denial operators that will have to step up and clutch on to this round with 40 seconds left.
40 seconds left. Jackie Wu now looking for the entry into Laundry, but not looking quite the right way. Pikan also looking for the crossfire as well onto those pantry stairs. There is a defender down there, so it's possible they find a pick. And that is good from Jackie Wu, finding a C4, but I think Pikan's about to get flanked from the stairs.
He is very aware of it, though. Watching those stairs must have heard you, but the timing might not be on his side. Soldier surely gets this one for free. It's a 2 versus 1, but Jackie Wu just has to wait out the timer. 5 seconds left, Talon. What are you going to do? Soldier, what a spray! Takes down that player, and that is another round for Talon.
I just can't believe that they were able to come back into that round. That early game looked quite dire for Talon. They weren't able to find the early pick. All their drones were being shut out before they could even get boots into the building. But Canos able to make a solo play into Living in Library, finding 2 kills, and dry peeking even, eventually able to win out the round for Talon. So that was really well played from Talon, even with an information like they weren't quite close enough together to start playing those refrags and start playing those crossfires. And it allowed Talon to get given the space to take these 1v1 gunfights and eventually find some picks. And so Direwolves, a good start and a good change in philosophy. I'm actually quite glad that they're taking their tactical timeout to just make sure, hey guys, we need to be on the same page here. We need to not be giving away our life. Let's change up what we need to do and see if they can come back. They're on their defense, so there should be some rounds that they're able to win out here on Villa.
60% defense win rate on this map in APAC North. Check APAC South for you. Villa, 61%. There you go. So this is a defender-sided map. You should be winning 4 out of 6 of your defenses, right? Direwolves, unfortunately, already failed that. They couldn't meet par for the course. Talon exceeding on their map pick, which, to be fair, was probably expected given how good Talon are on this map. However, Direwolves, they can't just lay down and let this happen. They have to stand up for themselves. They have to step into this one and try and even this scoreline going into their attack.
Direwolves now attempting Aviator and Games with a slightly more pulled back lineup as well. They're leaning into the Goya this time for some of that area denial. Same with the Mute to deny the drone, similar to last round, so that's well played from them. But they're not going to do this downstairs extension like we saw from the last time that they played this, right? They're just going to put Jackie Wu on the stairs. 3 ADSs on his landing as well. I suppose Pikan here to support him, maybe shoot some drones, look for some of that.
Saw him.
Oh, I think he did. There was a pre-placed drone there in Living, and Demic is here for the entry as well. Pikan, he's on his own.
Really nice pre-placed drone there from Talon, and I believe another one may have just seen Pika. Surely they get him. Hetty is going in for it and can now also hack the defender's cameras should he believe it is safe. That is huge. Hetty now has info all over the map. The Direwolves are essentially going to have to deny their own info if they want to take that away from the attack. And on top of that, Jackie Wu is pushed back off the main stairs. This is such a strong start for Talon.
Jackie Wu pushed back off the main stairs, and 2 of those Goyo canisters have also just gone off. Jackie Wu, he does find a pick onto the main stairs though, and is not refragged. ED supporting from the vertical, but Canos eventually able to find one back. 3 versus 3 here for Talon and Direwolves. The last Goyo canister going off, but oh no, Demic still finds the entry.
Oh, but ED!
Oh my gosh!
He goes back for it again! And it's just refrag after refrag. These teams do not want to let each other come away with the advantage. No one will have the last laugh as ED falls back to site. Canos takes a bit of damage from the fire, but now can move up. And we take a deep breath. There's a minute left, and it's 2 versus 2.
1 minute left of the round. This is still winnable here for Talon. They do have the diffuser in their hands, drones available to them in the form of also the Flores drones, the last one just going out now from Aziz. So this is still winnable for Talon. Direwolves, this is the time that they need to not throw their lives away. Keep their composure, keep it together, make sure that they're playing these crossfires. They have to flood now, 43 seconds left to go. And there's, still some Goyo canisters up left as well. So yeah, it's looking not so great for Talon yet, but we do see Canos rotating over to the other side, looking for a pinch. We'll see how Direwolves can respond to this. Do they even know it's happening?
Ultra cautious with Direwolves. Talon have good info, but not much time. And that Vulcan canister is just going to shut out Canos. Now, ED, thanks to taking down Azzy, can just hold on. It's up to Souffle and him to sit back and relax. And, I mean, Canos, we've seen him do some pretty phenomenal things in the past, but this just ain't happening. No way, Jose. ED coming around the corner. And there you go. Direwolves holding on. And to be frank, from where they were earlier in that round, what a phenomenal job to get that back on their side.
I was really impressed by both teams in that round. I don't think we've seen so many trades in succession like that in quite a long time, actually. I suppose on the main stairs, that being a choke point, it can be supported from the vertical as well. ED doing an amazing job to support Jackie Wu on the stairs, eventually playing the trades out well into a 2v2 situation, and Direwolves just relaxing, hold the entry points. They need to walk in eventually. There isn't any hard breach, so let's just watch the doorways, watch our corners and just make sure that we know where they're coming from and retain the composure. So well played from Direwolves to bring that one back, and just, I was really worried for them for a bit that they would have lost their composure losing those last 3 rounds, but it's good to see them come back into this game.
I think it was a great adaptation mid-round from Direwolves because of the way that Talon clearly had just such a strong game plan and isolated Direwolves, got that man advantage. But for Direwolves to keep on fighting back and making sure to get those refrags really was a great way to get them back into that round.
And I think they had to as well, right? We did see the 2 Goyo shields go fairly early into the round. There was a whole 2 minutes left of the round, and that's a lot of your zone control already popped. So Direwolves, they were forced to try and take some of those gunfights and get a little bit more value out of the power positions before falling off, and that worked out perfectly for them. Now they can rotate over to Trophy and Statuary, reattempt another primary bomb site for them with an extended hold over into Master. Souffle now were on board. They're actually playing the open line of sight into walk in here, so this will somewhat counter the way that Talon had actually approached this bomb site. Last time we saw them go for a very direct to take. Hetty was able to find the entry pick into walk in, but now that's being countered by this line of sight. So not a bad adaptation here from Direwolves.
Yeah, and on top of that, you've actually got a castle barricade and a deployable shield in Master to allow ED to actually continue flanking inside. There's a castle barricade also on his south window, so allowed a lot of mobility if Talon don't clear it out. Harambe goes down early though. That's an unfortunate pick for Direwolves. Not sure where Talon managed to find that one. Perhaps that was from the window. It was an Astro Repel window.
Dear.
Oh, and a second one as well through the drone hole, no less. Oh no, Direwolves, you can't be letting that happen. Talon have taken such a significant advantage so early on.
Direwolves now down in a man deficit, but they still do have a few power positions here to play with. Souffle now at the bricks door is able to swing off the shield, but it is being naded out slowly. This line of sight though, Talon are going to have to be very careful not to feed some picks to Souffle here.
This is where we really test Talon's mettle when it comes to playing their advantage. Direwolves have a chance to get back in this. Oh my gosh. Souffle finally does take out that. Ooh, did he also get the air jab there?
I think
So he's activated the Syria gate from Aruni, and he's turned that air jab off by destroying it with the impact. Now, Jackie, we're looking for an aggressive play, but it doesn't pan out for him, and Direwolves know they need something. So he gets back in, does Souffle, all the way into Master. Can he find a jump out, perhaps? Has he been droned?
Oh no, Souffle missed drones in the corner of Master Bedroom, able to find a pick and fall off down the hatch. Will he also catch out Canos?
Really depends if Canos is watching. Now Souffle is the last one left. Canos very aware. Souffle has come up the red stairs. There's some info on site here for Direwolves, but a really tough retake now for poor Souffle. What a nice shot. And Talon not getting that plant down just yet. They have plenty of time. They don't need to rush this. They just need to play it right, play it perfectly, and make sure that Souffle cannot eliminate each player in a 1v1. He's got to make his move now, and Hetty is watching the long head angle. Just like that, Talon take the half, 4 rounds to 2 on their attack.
Direwolves, I felt like that was such a good adaptation from them strategically, but just giving away some picks to such unusual things. I mean, one coming through the drone hole of all things as well. So Direwolves, the right idea, but not the right execution coming from them, and eventually being overwhelmed by numbers from Talon. Talon, they're just playing this so cautiously, taking their time to drone out the strategy, and eventually finding these free picks. So Direwolves, now they've swapped over onto the attacking half. We're going to have to see a very successful attacking half if they want to get back into this game.
That's it. You'd expect a 4-2 for the defense, judging by how defender-sided Villa has been in APAC North and South so far in Stage 1, and Talon has achieved a 4-2 for their attack. Very, very tough slog from here if you're Direwolves to try and get back into Talon's map pick. Talon have just about everything they need to play slow, steady, and close this out.
Talon are moving on to their defense half. This is also their map pick as well, so they will be feeling quite comfortable here. Now going into Aviator and Games, looking at a pretty default setup. We actually bring along the Kaid as well for these walls, so going for a direct attack here is going to be much tricky for Direwolves. They have brought along the Hibana as well, but interestingly, a Blitz? I wonder what's going to come of this. A Blitz?
Surely
Finker?
not.
Oh dear. Are we going to see it?
Not.
Oh, okay, okay. That one's been swapped off now for another set of grenades. So Direwolves, I was scared there for a moment. They were going to go for one of their classic rushes that we see a lot in APAC South. That would have freaked me out. But yes, Talon starting to do a roam extension as well over onto the other side of the map. So we'll see how Direwolves can approach this. Will they go for a roam clear, or will they directly attack the site?
Well, we've already seen Talon do a great job drone hunting. Already 3 drones eliminated. Direwolves would like to be using those to enter the building quickly, like we saw from Talon, to catch off rotations early, like we saw Talon do, but not so. Talon seem to be really on the ball with this map, with everything from drone spots to strategies, counter strategies, and they've been in control of this match so far.
Canos now contesting the early entry into Master. It does seem like Direwolves will look for this sweep. The Hibana able to get some lines of sight open to assist the roam clear as well. So Direwolves starting to choke out the roam play of Talon. How long can they stay here for?
This is such a significant investment from Talon. So much util on this side of the map, but an early pick. That is really nice. Thanks to the Hibana and the entry. It's not quite it for Jackie Wu. Canos gets the trade there, but Pika, fortunately for Direwolves, can find one. Soldier, irretrievable now, downed. And surely Direwolves will be able to sweep this side of the map fairly confidently.
Direwolves now having pushed up all the way into 90 control, so very significant progress here in this round, and Harambe eventually able to take down Soldier as well. So good progress here from Talon. It's time to start rotating over your hard breach to that 90 wall, start choking out some of those anchor positions, while Talon recompose. Actually, not even getting ready to check. They've already gone for the side. Execute.
Plant is going down. There's over a minute left, and poor Hetty with the shotgun is trying to peek with the pistol. Now Pika watching for it as this actually manages to win that fight. And now Hetty gets the shotgun into the game as well. Traded back. A 2 versus 1. Canos and now Aziz, who's been revived somehow. I didn't quite see how that happened, but it doesn't matter. He is shut out. Canos in a 1 versus 2. Souffle and ED have a perfect crossfire, and that's an easy headshot for the Direwolves. A fantastic round, sweeping across the map and showing that they can attack too.
The Direwolves finding out that the site was essentially empty with the exception of Hetty with the Ella shotgun and able to go for the plant early on into the rounds. Talon, they just hadn't rotated back up the main stairs quick enough to support the one anchor player on the site, and Direwolves, they were keyed into that very quickly into that round. We would normally see them take more time to open up the wall, drown out the site, but no, they were in on it very quickly.
Strategy. Thatcher is banned, so you might well see a lot of these heavy wall denial strategies with the Kaid, who is picked here for trophy stat. But there's also a bit of roaming presence, I would say, from Demic and Hetty. These are fairly aggressive operators. Mozzie for drone denial. We have the Mute in tandem as well, which can support that and slow down those attacking pushes. Plus, I mean, I'm a huge Alibi advocate. I think Alibi is a fantastic operator. She's got a shotty, she's got a brilliant SMG, and never underrate the value of those prismas just pinging out and annoying the living heck out of the enemy team.
Yeah, I must say the Alibi Prismas, they can be quite frustrating putting them directly on windows because, of course, those barricades have to get opened eventually, right? So that's free intel there for the defense. With the Mute Mozzie combo, it would indicate that they are looking for a bit more of an extended roam onto the other side. Deny some of that intel, deny a lot of time. So this is the concept here for Talon, rotating over to the other side of the map while they leave Aziz here on the site to try and make sure that they can't get early control into Master, right? So Talon, they are anticipating this roam clear, which Direwolves showed us in the previous round, but Direwolves, they are actually bringing out the Blitz this time.
That was not a bait. That was a stick.
That was a
Jackie
stick.
Wu, what have you got for us? This is going to be a hell of a lot of fun. In tandem with the Finker as well, which increases the aim down sight speed of that Blitz. Jackie, you better drop that diffuser before you head on inside, but I can't wait to see what you got to show for us.
Jackie Wu heading the charge with the Blitz, supported by Souffle and Harambe as well. So seems like, yes, Talon actually have read Direwolves quite well here. They will go for the sweep across the map, but are they anticipating this Blitz play?
How effective can it be? There's a reason why we don't see him in the game very often at a pro level, but still with the diffuser in pocket, Jackie Wu looking for this roam clear with the Blitz. How long until the train starts to march on through? In he goes, spots out one player, C4 goes over, doesn't land on him. Jackie Wu is keen to take this fight. A smoke going out, this is very messy. That is far too long range to make that flash work, and Demic makes Jackie Wu look a little bit silly, makes ED regret his life decisions, and Talon have easily fended off this roam clear.
Direwolves, I feel, have really played into the defense of Talon. All three players now rotating safely back onto the site. So Direwolves left at a man deficit. And yeah, like I said, I really feel like they played exactly into the strategy that Talon have set up for them. Playing into the trap, if you will. Harambe now looking for something up on the red stairs, but I feel like this is going to be a very tough round here for Direwolves to come back from. All the anchors back on the site, ready to play those crossfires and holding those chokes.
So what can Direwolves find then? No grenades left for Harambe. 2 grenades left for Souffle. That's something to try and clear these shields, to try clear these positions, maybe get that man advantage back on Direwolves' side. But it's a very, very tough slog from here in the 3-on-5 stat trophy as a bomb site. You can just sit and anchor, especially if you've got that man advantage. Hetty's been droned, I'm pretty sure. Can Pika perhaps get a floor bang on for him? Here comes the double impact, but he's moved.
Trophy and statuary essentially having 2 main choke points in through the doors of the connectors into the site, which is pretty much all that Talon have to worry about. Demic also taking care of the master bedroom entry as well, so not looking good for Direwolves, and Aziz eventually able to find the final kill for Talon. So just well played, an excellent roam there from Talon. They didn't overstay their welcome as well, falling off, taking 3 plays back into the site, able to hold onto those choke point entries, and yeah, just close out the round with ease.
Look, I'm all for a Blitz. I don't mind him. I love having a bit of fun sometime. Give me some Blitz, give me some Nook, give me some Amari, give me that. Give me all the stuff that you don't usually get to see. But that was not the play. I'll say it, I'll admit it, that was not the play.
Yeah, I think we were hyping that up quite a lot as well. We were quite excited for the Direwolves Blitz.
There's a reason you can't flash someone across the room as Blitz and then immediately aim down sides. Demic's going to punish you for that.
Oh, absolutely. Demic is a very sharp shot as well, so I wouldn't be the one wanting to take that gunfight. Talon now rotating down to kitchen and dining. They do have to go to a tertiary bomb site now, having won the last 2 rounds as well. So we'll see. This is actually Direwolves' chance to get an attack off as well. This is going to be the less comfortable site for Talon. So they're playing quite a regular strat here with the pulse down below for the intel. Seems like they're going to go for an extension up the top as well. So not anything too special here for Talon.
This is really an important round. Like you said, Stat Trophy is locked. Direwolves have already won an attack onto Aviator game, so Talon don't want to go there just yet. And these next 2 rounds, while Stat Trophy is locked, is the best time for Direwolves to get rounds. Because Talon can't go back to that bomb site. If Direwolves can win these next 2 rounds, then it'll be an even scoreline by the time Talon goes back to the bomb site that they're most comfortable defending. That is exactly what Direwolves need to be playing for right now. They have to make sure that they lock in here and don't secede match point to Talon.
Absolutely. Losing this round would mean Talon on a match point, which is a very scary prospect here for the Direwolves. So they'll have to be very careful starting to clear this entry. Roam now, Jackie coming in from the main door with Edie supporting from Potteries and is actually able to find the first kill. As this now falls back into the power position of Living Room, shooting out some drones. So far, Direwolves going 1-up in the early game. Actually, Pecan's just walked onto the site.
Hello, knock knock. Who's there? Pika, and Demic goes down. The entire bloody bomb site is in Direwolves' control, and now Talon have to retake in a 2 versus 5. Soldier might make that a 2v4, but Canos and him have a lot of work to do. Direwolves just got to rotate that diffuser, Harambe, onto that bomb site, and then the attackers are the defenders, and the defenders are the attackers. There's something very, very wrong right now, and if you're Talon, you are sweating it. Direwolves, you better be watching this flank though, because there is a hatch in laundry that you may well have forgotten about.
Direwolves now in a post-plant situation with the bomb down. Soldier now looking for the first pick of the retake. Canos able to follow up with the second one. 34 seconds left to go. This is excellent progress on the retake from Talon.
30 seconds and there's a 2v2. Like, there's a real chance. This is a real possibility for Canos and Soldier. They didn't have any hints at the bomb site. And now Direwolves have to try and deny them from disabling that diffuser. Peekers watching the angle, lands their headshot. Soldier down and out. And now Canos, he's been sharp. But is he sharp enough to land the 1 versus 2 with this DMR? ED and Pika can hold the angle and deny it. There is no shot. Canos gonna save the KD. That ain't gonna help very much. Pika's gonna troll his teammate just a little bit. And that... Bit toxic there, mate. Bit toxic. But Direwolves, they won the critical round. Tick, box, done.
Absolutely. That was a critical round for Direwolves to win there. To be back into this game now, the score at 5-4. A little more even here for the Direwolves. So here we go again with Pecan finding the early entry onto the site, really opening up the rounds for the Direwolves and eventually able to win out the post-plant. Talon, that was actually not a bad retake attempt from them as well, bringing it back to a 2v2, but Edie is too sharp, even on his own teammate.
Got to boost that KD somehow. Thankfully, there's no reverse friendly fire here in comp play. Otherwise, I think there's no way that... who was it? Was it ED who got TK'd?
Yep.
I don't think ED would be disabling the RFF on Souffle. I think he'd be like, nah, mate, you can wear that little red badge of shame.
Oh dear, Talon. Now they rotate back up to Aviator and Games, a primary bomb site for this team. So they will look for the same extension over onto Trophy and Statuary with the play of the Valk as well. That's something that we haven't seen yet in this game as well. So perhaps the added intel may allow for some pre-placed C4s. That's 2 C4s on the board for Talon as well. So we'll see whether this extra intel can add to the roam that Talon have.
Something I'm really liking from Talon is the way they hunt drones. Now, Direwolves have managed to keep most of the... No, they've lost 3 drones in prep phase. That's really not great. Like, it said 1 and 0 for a second. I was very confused. So Talon are doing a really excellent job of hunting these drones. We saw Canos walking downstairs, checking all the pot plants and all the common spots. And that has led to Direwolves struggling to have early information. And if you pair that with the mute and with some rat plays, some roaming, and some info for Talon, in the Valkyrie, there's no secret to why Talon's early game is looking so strong.
Direwolves don't seem, as I say that, I believe they're about to rush up the main stairs. Pecan looking for the early entry, but Hetty is able to find the first pick with the shotgun traded out by Souffle. Harambe there to support the push onto top main as well, so that's very early top main control. So, Jackie Wu now doubling down on the roam clear as well, as this able to trade one back. So 3-on-3 in this match with a whole minute down. There's 2 minutes left to go. What is going on?
Yeah, nearly half the players in the server are down, and we've only been playing for 55 seconds. That's fine, Mandy.
Yeah,
that's
fine.
normal. That's just
what can you expect from APAC, really?
Yeah, this is what we love to see. Talon are so good at playing this map slow and smart, and so Darwolves like, look, let's create a little bit of chaos. Just a little bit, but unfortunately, sometimes you stand too close to the fire and you get burnt. Talon, they find match point.
An extremely quick one.
Not for Direwolves. We know that Direwolves have had some pretty devastating losses on this map in the past, and not necessarily close ones at that, losing to both Invictus and Cyclops in the 6 Invitational qualifiers earlier this year. Direwolves, this is not home turf for them. That will be next map. But if they can push Talon really hard here, maybe come back and make it work on Villa, then, I mean, that is a huge sigh of relief. You can't rely on winning your map pick and then the decider. You've got to have a fight on your opponent's map as well.
Talon now able to go back to Trophy and Statuary, familiar bomb site. They'll be happy to come back here with the same roam extension over onto the other side of the map. So nothing's changed. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, is what we usually say here on the broadcast. So Direwolves, they're bringing along this blitz again.
That is broke, by the way. Like,
that is broke. Maybe do fix it. So Direwolves, what are you going to do with this blitz? Is it time to go for something more direct? Do you really want to face this roam of Talon? They have quite an extensive setup here. I think that's dedicating 2, 4, 5, 6 reinforcements onto the roam, actually. Wow. So that's a lot. That's a lot to bring onto this roam here for Talon as well. Direwolves, are you going to play into this, or is it time to change it up?
Well, one thing that is a change is Pika's now on the Nook. I don't know if that's going to make a huge difference. Direwolves are indeed pushing Study Balcony once again. Jackie Wu there with the blitz. And still with the diffuser. I don't understand why he's got the kit. Like, just drop that. He doesn't need that. Doesn't matter, I guess. Direwolves will attempt what failed miserably in the first round. Let's hope that they have a little bit more success. ED pushing up from the main stairs. Jackie Wu there to clear that, face check that for him. Also clearing out that Mozzie Pest on the second try, the third try. There you go. Also taking out the 90 camera. Will Talon hold on to this map control and try and contest?
Demic now playing the exact same position. He does throw out a C4, which is not fruitful, but yes, Jackie Wu now, Demic, this is some deja vu here we're seeing. They have to do this same roam clear, but Harambe is actually looking for a grenade from below from the intel that his teammates on the entry are getting. Unfortunately, not able to find anything, but this control is given to the Direwolves. So Jackie Wu and his teammate not dying out this time, and all 5 players still up. 1 minute and 40 seconds left to go, no casualties so far, so a little better from the Direwolves.
Yeah, not bad. Direwolves didn't get too over-aggressive. They really focus on just mounting up that pressure, talking it up, and Talon were the ones who dictated the pace and decided to fall back. I respect that. Talon not looking to take any chances, but it does mean that this will come down to the execute, to Direwolves actually pushing onto that bomb site in a 5 versus 5 with that blitz.
Jackie Wu and Harambe now rotating over to master side to try and get control into this building, perhaps create a line of sight into the wall, while they leave the diffuser over with the rest of their teammates on the study side. So looks like they're going to go for a regular execute down into statuary, but they need this study control. They need to clear out Demic if they want to work anything on that wall. Jackie Wu now opening up that barricade. Demic about to be in a world of hurt, but a jump out as well. Demic now in a close 1 versus 1 fight. The flash does go off, and Jackie Wu will find the first kill, but traded back by Hetty.
Well, that is how you use the blitz. We like that. Now Jackie Wu looking for more. Couple of hip fires. 40 seconds left, and there's 4 players on either side. Just 1 casualty on each team. 30 seconds now, and it's ticking away. Souffle looking to make a play into stat. Talon still having match point. Direwolves looking for a chance, but Jackie Wu goes down. Souffle now has to cover alongside Harambe, but ED, he manages to get that diffuser planted. A 4 versus 3 for Talon now. On for the retake. We have seen some phenomenal retakes in the APAC playoffs so far. Could this be another 30 seconds on that timer. It takes 7 to disable the diffuser. So Talon have to play this right, and they're feeling the pressure. Souffle versus 2. He's got to stand up for his team. It's match point. There's no second chances now. And he uses the nade to bait it out. That's perfect. He just has to land the shots. Souffle keeps Direwolves alive.
Souffle keeping the Direwolves' dream alive. That is keeping them in the game. No more match point victory here for Talon as well. So Souffle, that was amazing. And Jackie Wu, eventually we're back on board with him, does able to make the blitz work there, not losing out in the early game this time, and able to take the close range gunfight there in this closet instead. So Direwolves, well played this time, retaining their composure in the early round. No casualties, playing exactly what they needed, getting that wall open, ready for ED to go down for the plant. From there, he can't be swung from the split connector as well, so that's just so well played from the Direwolves, step by step, not losing anyone on the way, and Talon just, yeah, unfortunately losing out on the retake. Souffle's just way too sharp.
Oh, very, very close though, you've got to admit.
Yeah,
Direwolves let that get very, very close. The blitz, once again, is a bit of a weird one, gonna admit it. The blitz is a little bit strange. The fact that they still brought it for the roam clear. I think it's probably to Direwolves' benefit that the Talon players fell off the roam clear. But nonetheless, Jackie Wu ended up being useful when he ran into the closet. So I like that. We got to see Blitz actually used like a blitz. Yeah, he died 10 seconds later aiming gun sights, but let's not talk about that.
I mean, I'm pretty impressed by the Direwolves' attack there. They did everything right, even going later into that round. They didn't rush the plant, even though they had all 5 players up. They waited for that line of sight that Harambe made to make sure that ED couldn't be swung from that little split balcony that goes between the sites. So that was a crucial piece of the attack. Direwolves, they don't cut corners. They know they are on. Talon is on match point, so there's no mistakes from here on out. Talon now going to try repeating the site. Direwolves looking for the same roam clear with no blitz this time. I think we're quite happy to see that, but we'll see whether they can replicate the success. Do you think Talon will stay around for longer this time?
Hard to say. I can't imagine Talon wanting to contest. That said, Demic has been on fire all game long, 12-8. He was the first player in the server to cop double digits, and he has been so good with the 1.5 times sight on that P10 Roni. He now hears his phone ringing. He knows that that pressure is about to come out. His back is watched by his teammate, but he's got to watch his front side and take this 1v1. Another drone comes out.
Ooh.
He feels that pressure from below as well. The grenade takes almost half his health, and he's looking for this fight. He doesn't want to be caught in a crossfire. He wants to take some ones. The Gemini, he manages to shoot out, but that's not a player. He still hasn't managed to deal any serious damage here. Direwolves, they need to push onto him, but they can't let him have a 1v1.
Direwolves taking their time, trying to find the early pick with the grenades from the below with the intel from the entries, and there it is, right on cue as we speak about it. Direwolves, they make an explosive entry onto the roam clear. Now a 2 versus 5 here for Direwolves. This round is very winnable for them.
Canos and Aziz have to hold on for a whole minute and a half. There is so much time left. This is going to have to be a miracle, but Direwolves certainly don't want to be letting that happen. A 1v5 for Canos, you just don't win these. Even Canos does not win these. Nobody wins these. Direwolves looking to push to overtime on Talon's map pick. It has been such a rough game for Direwolves. Talon have looked phenomenal, but on these ladder attacks, Direwolves have tightened up so much. They have been perfect even now. They're not rushing. They're not getting ahead of themselves. They've had a minute and a half, and they're still just playing patient, playing it right, and it ends with a flawless round. Souffle to close. Overtime is on our hands.
I'm very impressed. Direwolves, they have our number now. We need to change something.
It was the 5th round when Direwolves took their tactical pause, and now 7 rounds later, 8 rounds later even, we see Talon do the same. On the back foot, they've got to try and hold on, and they are in fact on their defense as well, where they've just lost 2 rounds in a row. Direwolves have successfully won every bomb site that Talon have taken at least one time. On the second shot, Talon managed to win their defense of Aviator Games, and that is where they're going right now, looking to try and repeat the feat. Once again with the Ella shotgun, it's not going to be easy, especially with Direwolves conjuring up some serious fortitude and momentum.
Oh, Talon, they're so diligent on their drone hunting, aren't
So
they?
they've already found 2.
Oh.
Like it's
Doing well. They're so good at it. Talon now going for a similar extension over to the master side of the building. Soldier starting to put down his Valkyrie cameras with an Electro Claw dedicated to the push, to the defense as well. So yeah, Direwolves, they're facing off against another tough roam clear for them, but it looks like they're actually changing their approach here. This is the first time that we're seeing Direwolves go for a direct take. Now the Flores being played as well, so that top main shield will be made quick work with those Rotero drones.
The other danger of top main stairs, though, is not just the shield, but the shotgun. Hetty, with that FO12, doesn't need the shield to take a fight with anyone coming up the stairs. If he's peeked from study, though, it's a different matter, and the attackers will have the advantage on the longer angles. ED, though, already in the building, and Dai was making excellent time management. The Buck engaging this vertical play, and you are 100% correct, Mandy. It is entirely going to be a direct hit for Direwolves.
ED now working through the mid-round to try and look for some of those vertical picks, making sure there's no wall denial so that those walls can be... Oh, actually, there's no hard breach. I take that back. But anyway, I was going to say, typically when you play this attack, you want hard breach so you can get open walls and choke out the defense. But ED instead will just be looking to clear out some of those power positions, but they have to be careful of these Rotero drones. That Rotero drone actually just in the radius to clear that shield. So Hetty now no longer has a shield, but is still being supported by one of his teammates. The main stairs push now coming through.
No.
Hetty fully flashed. Can Direwolves make this work?
The nades come through, but Talon is there to support. He ate a grenade. Canos is in it. Demic is in it. And Talon come to life. Direwolves, they lose out the trades. And Talon are up the exchange here at top of main stairs. It's been 2 rounds in a row for Direwolves, but Talon is keen to get back in it. Not if Souffle has got anything to say. A 2-on-3 now with over a minute left. Harambe looking from 90 to lock in. Match point for Direwolves.
2 versus 3, still some drones available for the Direwolves. 1 minute left to go. They can take it a little bit slow. Look for some of those intel. Harambe now just finding the player of Canos on main red stairs, looking for that pick. But 48 seconds left to go. They haven't found a pick yet. Looking for the pinch onto Canos, but he's well and truly fallen back all the way into Memorial.
Canos has decided to play time. Doesn't want to help his teammates just yet. He's going to go for the flank. And he's going to wait out and bait out as much time as possible. But that means his teammates do not have support. There is one concussion mine to try and deny the plant, but Harambe goes deep, far too deep. And now it's all on Souffle with the ARX. He can't even get Canos, and up from the flank, it's Talon to finally get another match point, another chance to lock in their map pick.
Oh wow, Talon just collapsing in on the push from Direwolves. They knew the next step in the round was to clear out the choke point of those main stairs. Hetty, he had the shotgun. He was able to find one. Souffle there to trade as well. So just identifying the push that Direwolves were going for and able to rotate those roamers back, start supporting the anchors really early on, and Direwolves being made quick work.
And that does give Talon another opportunity for match point, but this time they're on their attack. Keep in mind, that was really where we started to get hyped for Talon. They managed 4 out of 6 attack rounds. Direwolves only having success on Aviator games. That said, both times they did play Aviator games, they won it. So in a way, Talon don't have the advantage here. Direwolves might be happy to repeat this bomb site that they've already won flawlessly, 2 out of 2. See if they can push to their own match point.
Again now, Talon on match point. No more mistakes for the Direwolves in this overtime series. We can see Pecan down here looking for this roam extension like he did before, hopefully not being caught out by a pre-placed drone this time though. So we'll see if the Direwolves can correct their mistakes from the last time that they played this bomb site. Maybe they'll reel in Pika a little bit, try to make sure that he's still alive for the execute a bit later. But like you said, Direwolves, last time they were successful on this bomb site, so no mistakes from here on out. Let's just repeat something that we know that works, make sure that we're not giving away our lives, and we can do this. I like these rotate holes actually. I'm a big fan of this
Downstairs hold?
Yeah, this downstairs hold from the Direwolves.
Bit loosey-goosey.
Bit loosey-goosey.
Got some C4s, trying to deny the vertical play. That said, Talon, they have an ace up their sleeve.
Hopefully they found the drone this time as well.
Yeah, true. That's very true. They only found one drone though in the prep phase. But no, secret weapon here for Talon has got to be that Monty. And I wonder what the play is. Is that to push up the main stairs? It's got to be. Here outside the main door, of course, with Direwolves having so much presence downstairs, Pika still residing in Piano, does give Direwolves a challenge. He goes down though. Demic has found that really, really early pick.
I'm not even sure where he found that pick from. Oh, he's just inside pottery here. Okay, right. So Demic is able to find the early pick. Those rotate holes actually not working out in the favor of Pecan. That's actually the second time we've seen him go down as the opening kill on this particular bomb site as well, making the same mistake, overstaying his welcome on the ground floor. So again, leaving the Direwolves in a 4 versus 5 situation. Harambe now we're on board with on the main stairs is about to be faced in a world of pain with a Monty and all his teammates to follow.
Guess who banned out smoke? Oh wait, that was us. So there's no smoke to try and stall out the Monty. Souffle goes down. Mandy, this may well be map number 1 in the books for the Korean team of Talon. They've never even made it to a major playoffs before. They've never made it to a major. And they could be just 1 map away from the 6th major in Charlotte in just 2 kills time.
Canos able to find a second to make matters worse for the Direwolves. The Direwolves not able to correct the mistakes that they made the last time they tried to do this same roam. Again, losing out on the early game now. Jackie Wu and ED on their lonesome. ED, he has to make the play of his life, and there we go. That's goodbye. 1, but traded by Hetty. So Jackie Wu in a 1 versus 4. Soldier to find the kill, and that is the good half comes out in the chat from Talon. Map 1 to them.
Done and dusted for Talon, and they are looking pretty happy about that result. What an achievement for this team. From APAC North, stage upon stage, they get their heads back in the game and take down